Today, I'm installing a USB C outlet with power delivery. Power delivery is a technology that will charge your devices up to 2 times faster. Best of all, I'll be using one of these. So the first thing we always do is check that our power is off at the breaker, and we double check using the voltage tester. No lights on the side means that it is safe to open this up with our screwdriver. So I'm using an insulated screwdriver, so you just need a regular screwdriver to open this up. I'm using an insulated one. That just means it protects you from electrical shock. I get asked that from time to time, but you can use a regular screwdriver if you want. And then remove the mounting screws that are holding the receptacle to the box here. And just note, it says UL there. That is UL listed for Canada, and it says US. All your electrical devices that are legal will have that symbol. It's good to know. And we're going to take a look at the wires here, because I know that these are, show you these wires. Let's see what we have. These are, this here, the sheathing on it is white, so this tells me this is 14 gauge wire. Now you can also install this new outlet with 12 gauge wire, okay, if you want it in your kitchen, because that's in a popular spot. So we're just going to remove this old outlet, and this one is actually an updated outlet to the lever technology ones, so you can see it has levers on the side. Now you always want to remove your black wire first. For a lot of people, you're going to have a wire wrapped around this screw terminal. You can remove that wire first by backing out this screw. That's your black wire. So we'll take out the black wire first, and we'll just put that up here. So that's our hot wire that's carrying the power. Next, we'll remove the white wire. This is our neutral wire. And we'll just put that off to the side. And then this is your ground. We always remove that last for safety. This one prevents electrical shocks. Okay, so we have our receptacle removed, and now we can install the in-wall charger.
So I do have a bit of an issue. Can you see these wires? You can see these are a little chewed up. That means there's markings on them, and that is a weak point for your electrical current. We don't like to see that. It's best to start fresh and cut these, okay? So I'm gonna trim these back.
Because this really is not a safe way to wire. It's not the best thing that we can do. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is take our linesman, and we're just gonna cut back the wire. We're gonna make some fresh cuts here. Clean this up a bit. I'll even clean this up a touch. Okay, now let's strip. Now to strip this wire to the proper length, there is a strip gauge at the back right here, and it says back wire. That is how we are wiring today. You line it up. I'm gonna grab it with my finger and then grab my strippers here. Now the key to stripping wire is you push down with the strippers, and then you're gonna hold the wire and you're gonna shoot it off down the road. Just like that. And then we're gonna pull forward, and I just shot that off into the neighbor's house. Perfect. We pull straight because sometimes you're gonna see people do this. They're gonna yard on the wire, and that actually can cut your wire. So to keep it clean, we just shoot it into the neighbor's house. Now at this point, you wanna take the back of your wire gauge and check that it is the appropriate length. There we go. Now a warning, before you install this, you have to check your electrical box. Take a look at this. The depth of this outlet will not fit in a regular single gang electrical box. This is too tight, and it's not even in all the way. So that right there is too narrow. We need a minimum of 2.5 inches depth. So you might need to get an old work or retrofit box instead. Also, before installing, you should also check that your box is minimum. See that? It has to be a minimum of 2.5 inches deep for this charger to work. Anything less is too tight for the box, and you won't have adequate box fill. It means that your box will be too small for your electrical device. Now, if you're new to electrical work, you should know that a USB charger is going to emit a lot of heat. Essentially, there is a charger like this in the back of your receptacle, and that means, if you know these, they get hot when they're in use. So that's why we're going with a leading, reputable manufacturer. You don't want to save money and go with a discount brand on this one, because there's heat involved, and your electrical devices, you want to make sure that they're charged safely and that you're protected. Now the first wire we're going to connect is this one right here, which is our ground wire. This is our safety, essentially, for all electrical work that you're gonna find in your home. The ground is for safety. And I'm just gonna make a little hook now, like a little J hook. And I'm just gonna bend this over, like so. Once you have your little J hook, you're going to want to find the ground screw. We always make this connection first for safety, and we're gonna try to loop it around the screw in a clockwise motion. Okay, so I've got it in there, and then we're just going to tighten that really, really well. As you can see, the ground is solidly connected. Once that is looking good, we can now move on to the white wire. And in electrical, this white one is called our neutral wire, and that is going to be connected to the silver screw terminal. You can see the gold one I've already backed out. You just take your screwdriver, and we're going to back that out so that we can make a safe connection. This is a clamp here. You always want to take your wire that's been stripped to the recommended length. I'm going to slide it in behind the screw terminal. And what we're looking for here, you see I'm using my thumb to push it forward. We don't want to have any wire showing. So if there's any wire showing, this is exceptionally dangerous in electrical. See that copper? We don't want that. This plastic is insulation, and that is protecting your wire from the electrical box, especially when it is metal. We have a lot of metal boxes in our country. So once you have it there, we're gonna just tighten up the screw, the silver, okay? So you give that a pull, that is nice and tight, nice and secure. The next one we do is black. So we always do black last because this carries the electricity, right? That's just what we do for safety. And you're gonna tip this forward. It's kind of hard to see there, but I'm gonna tip it forward. I'm holding down with my fingers into position there. Take my screwdriver, and we always do the black last because this actually will make it live once we turn on the power. And that's just for safety, to keep us safe. Okay, and I've got that. I can feel that's a good connection there. It's nice and tight. Give that a pull. I got solid connections. So now, because the charger is so deep, the depth here, I always push my fingers down. I do this for GFCIs, and I essentially snake it because you need to get room in there. Now we're gonna push it in. And do you see how easy that is? That's very, very easy to push in the wall. And that is because our box has a little extra depth, and we just did that little snaking trick. The next thing you want to do is take your screws and install it. These were the existing ones. I don't like these. These are way too big. This was much better. It came with the receptacle, so that's how we want to install it. And then we just want to screw these in. I'm just gonna put the top one in and get that going. TR here, that means that this receptacle is tamper resistant. That is a good safety feature, especially if you have little kiddos. So anytime you're installing an electrical outlet or an electric device that is really deep or wide, you want to go and make sure that your box is extra deep like this, because there is a thing in electrical called box fill. You don't want to overstuff your electrical box because it can overheat, so this is nice and safe. And we know that because the recommended depth was 2.5 inches, and we cleared that very nicely. We got a little extra room to spare, which is always ideal whenever you're installing an in-wall charger. Now for a more energy efficient installation on an exterior wall, I always like to use these. These are a little bit of insulation that will really cut down on the drafts that are coming through. These gaps actually contribute to a lot of heat loss in your home, a tremendous amount. At the bottom, there's a little groove here. If you ever need to remove it in the future, you can pop it off that way. And you're simply gonna push it in. And then that just looks absolutely beautiful. Now at this point, you always wanna take your receptacle tester and test that we installed this correctly. And what you're looking for here is this green light, and that says that you have wired it correctly. Always, always do this. Okay, so now that you know the receptacle is working, you also have to make sure that the charging ports are working. Let's do that right now. We're gonna test this out. Take your UBC. That's a giveaway from where I'm from, by the way. So I'm gonna charge up my phone. Test that out. You want a good charge on that and on the other end. So I got my laptop, got my phone, and it is charging into the wall ever so discreetly. Very happy with it. I think it looks great. Best of all, it looks great, but you're not gonna have to hunt around the home for these anymore because you simply plug it into your wall. Now, as we move more towards USB-C in our homes, you can expect to see a lot more of these. Now, a reminder that this is the 30 watt that I installed. That has that power delivery system that's going to be very high speed and efficient. If you'd like to learn more electrical projects so you can level up your home and most importantly, your DIY skills, you can check out this video right here. Thank you so much. I'm Daru. I'll see you in the next one.